everyone, welcome to another episode of Braxus Photography Fun. Well, today is sort of a repeat or an encore video that I made a few years ago. Now, this is a video that's based on the Fuji XT-4. This is now an old camera in today's world, and you can usually only find them on the used market. I bought my XT-4 back in 2021. I believe it was December 2021, and I only kept it for about half a year to 3/4 of a year before I sold it off, because my intention was I was trying to save up after that for what I'm using today, which is a Fuji X-H2. Now, the reason I sold the XT-4 was a few reasons. A, it only had a 26 megapixel sensor on it, whereas the X-H2 has a 40 megapixel sensor. B, the focus issues I had were a little bit prevalent in video when I was using the XT-4, whereas the X-H2 is a little bit better for focusing, that kind of thing. And the colors are basically the same between the two cameras. They both have really good blues and vibrant saturated colors between the two cameras, so that wasn't really an issue. I mean, I really do like the colors that I got out of the XT-4, and it was a great camera, of course, but basically because I was planning to move up to the X-H2 so I could do 8K video, that's the reason why I sold the XT-4. The XT-4 only does 4K video at the maximum resolution, and that's based on the 26 megapixel sensor. The X-H2 does 8K video because it has a 40 megapixel sensor. So there is that. I've been using my Fuji X-H2 for basically 2.5 years at this point, and you know, it looks like I might be continuing on with it. I don't know if there'll be an X-H3 down the road, but regardless, I can't see what they could possibly add to the X-H2 to make it a better camera. But that's enough of that. This is going to be an encore video, some video that I recorded back in 2021 and early 2022, basically an unboxing, showing the camera, showing some sample images, and that kind of thing. So let's get right into the video that I produced, you know, I guess it's about 4 years now. 3 to 4 years ago now. Let's take a look. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Braxus Photography Fun. Well, after some humming and hawing and deciding what to do for a digital camera, I've been going back and forth between certain models, XT3, XH2, other ones like that, and I saw on the Black Friday sale that it's extended into December, the XT-4. Now in Canada the XT-4 is $400 off, so that makes it $1,900 plus tax, and I looked at that and thought maybe I should jump on that and actually use that as my camera for the time being. Depending on what the XH2 pricing tends to be when it will be released, I still may jump on that camera, trade up the XT4 for the XH2 and see how that goes. But if the XH2 goes way above the pricing that I'm expecting it to be for Canada, I may just skip that and just keep the XT4. The XT4, not sure how long I'll be holding onto this camera. I'm still wanting a high resolution APS crop sensor camera in the 30 to 40 megapixel range, so that I can get some decent moon pictures with a really long telephoto lens. So the XT4 isn't quite high resolution enough for that in my taste. It's got the same pixel pitch as the GFX 100S, so I kind of know what to expect from the sensor, but other than that, we'll have to see what we do with it. So here it is. I just picked it up today. And let's take a look and see what we got. I've got the body only, of course, which was 1900, and I got this in silver. I prefer the silver look over black. Silver kind of gives it kind of that retro kind of look as an old film camera, and that's sort of what I was going for with this one. So this is what I chose. With that, I got a used Fuji flash, an EF42. I'm not really a flash person so much, but I do use it on occasion to fill in lighting, that kind of thing, when the lighting's not the best. And I don't believe the XT-4 has a flash on it. If it does, I'm not aware, but anyway, this should do for that. The plan is to use this on the GFX 100S at some point when I do get that camera. And for a lens, I did get the kit lens. This is the 18-55 with the stabilization, and I got this one used for $400, so that's a good deal. The kit pricing with this lens than the XT-4 is quite a bit higher, especially being that it's not marked for being on sale at this time, so this was my best option for a lens at this time. I'm not sure what other lenses I'll end up getting for the X sensor camera. I have to decide if I want to put too much investment into this system at this time. My intention is to still get into the GFX 100S or its replacement, depending on what time I end up actually getting into the system. But this is just another stopgap until that time, and we'll have to see how this little lens does. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. So I've had these two SD cards for quite some time being. One's a 1 terabyte V30 card, and the other one's a 512 gigabyte V30 card. Both of them should be good enough for 4K video at the 100 or 200 megabits per second rate, and we'll have to try and see if those work. So here's the camera box. Let's take a look what's inside. So here we have a fairly robust manual for this camera. It's probably the thickest one I've seen in many camera boxes. And here it is. So here it is in silver. And in the bottom of the box we have all our cables. This is to connect to your computer or a USB port. No, this is the USB. That is the battery. And here's the strap. This is the strap. So here's the final package with the flash, the lens, and the camera body. I did take a few test shots and everything looks pretty good. We'll see how this little camera can do as far as getting some decent quality pictures and the coloring and everything else that comes with it, and the sharpness, of course. So we'll have a little bit of fun with this XT-4, and we'll see how long we end up keeping this camera.
Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth.
Well, I managed to get my XT-4 in some use in the last week since I purchased it. Today I shot quite a few pictures and videos, both at church and outside. We just had it snow yesterday, and some of the snow has already melted, of course, but it was a nice sunny day and the snow was still on the ground in some places, so I thought, why not get some pictures today and see what this XT-4 can do. So that's what I did, and basically the results look pretty good. The crop sensor Fuji's don't quite have the saturation or color that the GFX system does. GFX system seems to be quite saturated for what you get, and just doesn't seem so blasé, but the crop sensor ones are still pretty good. They don't have quite the saturation that the medium format sensors do, but it still looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with the coloring I'm getting out of the camera as is, and I've been using Adobe RAW converter to convert my files over. So what you're seeing today will not be the Fuji JPEGs, of course. This will be the Adobe coloring, of course, and we'll show a little bit what this camera can do, but it won't be 100% just because it's not straight out of the camera JPEG. I had to lighten some shots, being that we have quite a high contrast situation with bright snow in darker situations in the shots. And the Fuji seems to be holding up fairly well with that kind of dynamic range. The snow, it isn't overblown out, which is really good, and you can bring up the darker areas in the pictures, of course, to kind of balance it out a little bit. You can actually do quite a bit with the files off the Fuji. So good purchase, I would say. I'm really curious to see what the XH2 will come out with when it does the 8K video and the 40 megapixel pictures off of it. I'm still thinking of trading up to get that camera, which means I'll be selling the XT-4 probably quite soon if the pricing for the XH2 is reasonable. But that's all in the future. Of course, I'm expecting the announcement to be in January, but we'll see what happens with that. Now, anyway, the videos look very good. I'm using the 18 to 55 kit lens on my camera. I do need a telephoto lens, so a lot of the pictures you're going to see today, I really wish I had a telephoto lens to crop in a lot closer. So my compositions aren't quite what I was wanting them to be, but I got in as close with the 55 range on the lens as best I could. I didn't crop any of these pictures, so what you're seeing is straight out of the sensor. And let's take a look. Let's see some of the videos and take some of the pictures. I do want to note that the camera was left on automatic for the settings just to see what it can do. And I'm noticing that during the video it will lighten and darken the shot automatically during the video. And that I'm not used to. I kind of really need to set it on manual mode to keep it from doing that. It does kind of ruin some of the shots in the video because it's lightening and darkening during the shot. And Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I haven't had any other cameras do that when I'm shooting video, which is surprising, but I guess this is how the Fuji system works. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the samples off my XT-4 that I shot today. you enjoyed those results off the XT-4 Fuji. And so I hope you enjoyed this short little video on the Fuji XT-4. I'd buy another one if it could only do 6K video, but unfortunately it was too old a model to offer that feature. You pretty much have to go to the XS20 to get that option now. But I am planning down the road to get myself a Fuji XM5, which does do 6K video, and it offers the 26 megapixel sensor that the XT4 had. And that'll be a great little companion camera for walking around with and traveling in the car at times when I don't have my XH2 with me. And it'll obviously give me great color, great pictures, those Fuji colors that I love so much, and offer 6K video too when I want to try and get better than what the XT4 offered for video. And of course the XM5 also has better focusing as well, so there's that. And the XM5 is probably the cheapest Fuji camera that they offer today for a good bang for your buck. So there's that. Anyway, give me a thumbs up if you like. Leave me a comment in the comment section below if you have something to say. And maybe you're out there looking for a used XT4 and you just wanted to see a few sample images from it, what it was like. And maybe you wanted to see what was inside the box too, if you happen to get somebody who kept the box and materials inside of it. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Well, thank you for watching, and aye and goodbye, eh?